Are gaming NFTs a scam? Has the crypto industry been lying to us? To find out more, watch this video till the end. Hello gamers, Crypto Kusha here. Today, I want to deep dive into the world of NFTs, specifically gaming NFTs. Just when my videos were doing relatively well, I decided to tackle this controversial topic and potentially shoot myself in the foot. But this is an important discussion, so please like and share this video to help it reach more people. Now let's get into it. Are gaming NFTs a scam? In recent years, we have heard a lot about NFTs. Some people love them, others hate them, and many call them a scam. But are they really a scam? Let's take a look at the promises made by those who promoted NFTs. True ownership. The concept of true ownership sounds great, but what does it really mean? Over the years, we have seen examples that challenge our perception of ownership. For instance, Steam made it clear that you don't own the games you buy. Amazon has restrictions on movies you purchase, and physical devices like the Spotify card thing can become obsolete. Also, my YouTube channel isn't truly mine, and Google can take it down anytime. Even your money or gold isn't entirely yours. Many governments limit cash withdrawals and impose strict regulations on them. So the idea of true ownership through NFTs is exciting. But do NFTs really deliver on this promise? Well, yes and no. While NFTs in your wallet are in your control, except if the contractor leaves a backdoor to it, projects can still ban your NFT from their platform. For example, if you own an Axie Infinity NFT and the Axie team decides to ban it, you now own a useless digital asset. You have ownership, but without utility, it's meaningless. So ownership isn't enough. Having ownership is great, but it's not enough. You can own a bucket of garbage, but that doesn't make it valuable. NFTs must have real value beyond being a digital token. Many NFT collections do hold value, but whether the value comes from speculation, art appreciation, community engagement, game utility, or even money laundering is a different discussion. Now you might be wondering, if I'm so skeptical of gaming NFTs, why am I creating Web3 gaming content? Here's a little backstory. Back in 2021-2022, I invested in gaming tokens left and right. When the bear market hit, most of those tokens crashed. That was expected. But what shocked me was how many projects either shut down or never recovered, leaving me with useless and unsellable tokens and NFTs. This led me to realize two things. First, crypto influencers either don't know what they're talking about or they are outright lying to make money off their audience. Second, if a gaming token has no real utility in a fun game, it will eventually go to zero. And honestly, most gaming tokens lack true utility. That is when I decided to make my own content, calling out projects that lie, overpromise, or mislead gamers with their NFTs, tokens, or games. Along the way, I came across John's YouTube channel, which criticizes Web3 games in his own way. To be fair, he makes valid points, especially on the technical side of things, whether the games are asset flips, stolen code, or full of bugs. These should be immediate red flags warning you not to invest or at least to be more cautious when buying their NFTs. But what stood out to me was how he referred to these games as NFT games. Fast forward to this week, when I came across another channel that criticizes NFT games. Since it was a smaller channel, I decided to comment in the hopes of starting a conversation. Luckily, some of the viewers responded, and I noticed a pattern. Some had outdated knowledge of NFTs, while others simply reacted negatively to the word NFT itself. It was as if NFT had become a taboo. It was clear many people associate the word NFT with scams, grift, or unethical practices, and I don't blame them. Crypto advocates have done a poor job explaining NFTs, and influencers who use the phrases like to the moon, cooking behind the scenes, and melting faces have made things even worse. You know which ones. So now I'm trying to do my part and share with you my views on NFT in-game. First and foremost, NFTs are just a technology, so inherently they cannot be a scam. It all depends on how they are used. Take 3D televisions for example. Were they a scam? No. We could agree they were a failure, but definitely not a scam. And since they were a physical product consuming resources, they faded away when there was no longer demand for them. Now let's take a more similar example. Emails. Are emails a scam? No. You might receive 1 or 2 messages from Nigerian princes trying to scam you, but email as a technology is never a scam. However, I should point out that I don't believe NFTs have as big of an impact as emails. In fact, they are far less important. I also don't believe blockchain and its adoption or its significance can compare to that of the internet. Even AI is now more important and impactful than blockchain. That said, NFTs in gaming are not bad. I mean, what harm do they cause? Imagine if tomorrow Epic Games announced that all the Fortnite skins you have been buying are actually NFTs. Would it make a difference to you? Would you suddenly stop playing the game or stop buying the skins? If your answer is yes, then I have included a link to Coco Melon's channel so you can watch a more suitable video. Now you might argue, But what good does it do if they are NFTs? We already have in-game marketplaces, and no developer is going to use another developer's assets in their game, and every one of them wants to sell their own. So what's the point? I'm glad you brought that up. Here, I want to talk about some scenarios where NFTs are beneficial in gaming. The most obvious one is peer-to-peer trading. Some might say, well, if the developers wanted us to trade with each other, they would have created their own marketplace, like CS2. To those people, I would say, I cannot unbend you once you have lubed up and spread your cheeks. Because don't tell me that if the opportunity comes where you have bought a limited edition Fortnite skin and someone else who has missed it and desperately wants to buy it off you, you wouldn't want the option to sell it. That said, I'll agree with you that developers, especially the big ones, are greedy and always want to be the ones selling in-game items. But in the above scenario, they can't resell the same limited edition skin because that would be lame. It's limited after all. So at the very least, they could benefit from secondary sale royalties on NFTs, and also eliminating shady third-party marketplaces that buy and sell entire accounts. Now let's assume another scenario. I have a Fortnite skin, but nobody is willing to buy it in the Fortnite marketplace, if it had one. Inside that ecosystem, I'm stuck with it. However, if these were NFTs, I could find someone in the CS2 community willing to trade their gun skin for it. You might think this is a very rare and niche scenario, but that's only because we haven't had this option before. Or imagine playing a game and unlocking a special item as a reward for your hard work. Remember, the developers never intended to sell it. It's just a free item meant for dedicated players. For example, the bandana in Metal Gear Solid 1 is an exclusive reward for completing the game in a certain way. Now, if that item was an NFT, someone who couldn't unlock it themselves or didn't want to play the game without it could buy it or trade for it. And if you're wondering how trading benefits the developers, I'm sure they could implement a fee associated with wallet transfers. Another benefit of NFTs is interoperability. Now I know you might want to say, there is no way a developer will allow assets from another game to be used in theirs. Or how can you bring a sword into a shooter game? But allow me to explain this for the Cocomelon fans out there. Interoperability means recognition. We already have games like Nifty Island, which recognizes some existing NFT collections and turns them into playable avatars in their game. An excellent marketing tactic if you ask me. But let's assume you're an indie developer working on a platformer. I'm sure you would want the gamers who played and finished Celeste or Hollow Knight and acquired a certain NFT from those games to check out your game. Here, you could assign a special discount or an exclusive in-game skin for players who own that NFT. Or imagine if Mortal Kombat announced that for their upcoming game, the first 200 players to finish the Tower Challenge could mint a special Sub-Zero skin. In this case, players and even outsiders could see how many skins had been minted and adjust their effort accordingly, besides the thrill of achieving that NFT. And why did I mention outsiders? Because let's assume Mr. John wants to organize an esports fighting tournament and only wants the pro players to participate. He could limit the entry to players who have minted that NFT. But Kusha, John could just email the developers of Mortal Kombat and ask for the list of those 200 players. Sure he could, but chances are he would have to wait for a while and probably receive a reply saying, sorry, we cannot share user data, or some other bureaucratic excuse. With NFTs, all it takes is one line of code. Or in a simpler scenario, imagine if Minecraft allowed you to place an image of your Fortnite skin inside the castle you built. Why not? We don't just play one single game. And it's always good to have options. I could think of even more quality of life improvements NFTs could bring to gaming, but I will leave it to you to share your ideas in the comment section. With all this said, I must emphasize that NFTs are not going to revolutionize gaming, but they can improve the experience. Let's be real, the gaming industry is already thriving and projected to keep growing. Why would you want to revolutionize something that's doing well? And yes, I know there are downsides to NFTs too. The complexity of blockchain technology, which although improving, is still not simple enough. But come on, you're gamers for God's sake. Then, the possibility of wallet hacks and losing assets or game progress, which I have personally experienced. And the predatory projects that have no actual game but sell NFTs for $500, attracting speculators instead of gamers, turning what should be a fun experience into a financial puzzle filled with anxiety. To wrap this video, what I'm trying to achieve with this video is not to make you love NFTs, but rather to hate the projects that misuse them. For that, you can follow my channel to stay informed. And always remember, games should be played for enjoyment, not for earning. Earning is just a bonus that probably developers should now be able to make it happen if they weren't paying 30% to the big guys. Wink wink. Now let me know what you think about NFTs. Do you like NFTs or do you think they are useless? I would love to hear both sides of the discussion. Thanks for watching. Please support me by liking and subscribing so more people can see these videos. And one more thing. Yes, I know you can right click an NFT and save the image, just like you can take picture of Bianca. But who gets to enjoy it? I